Hi everybody, welcome back. And as always, thank you for being with us. It's a beautiful 83 degrees. It's a little windy, but it's beautiful. And today I'm gonna be making puffy tacos. And I'm gonna be making them with a beef filling. Super easy and delicious. I'm gonna show you how to make them step by step. So the first thing I'm gonna do is prepare my masa. I'm gonna be using maseca. This is instant corn masa flour. And I'm gonna be using 2 cups of maseca. Now you don't want it really hard packed or real loose, just normal. Just get it like this. See, here's 1 cup. And there's the second one. And I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. You want your puffy shells to have some flavor. Now you wanna mix it in real good, make sure that you distribute it well. And I'm gonna add my water. I have 1.5 cups of water. I don't always use a 1.5, but I have before. And it's a little warm. I'm gonna start adding my water slowly like this and bringing it all in together. I'll let you know exactly how much I used at the end. Very easy, just salt and water. And you wanna take it slow because you'll be surprised how much just 1 teaspoon will do when making masa. And this feels good right here. You see, it doesn't stick on the sides, just perfect. Now I left just a little bit of water, hardly anything. And that's how it usually is. Now you're gonna knead it really good because you wanna make sure that it's very well hydrated evenly for about 1.5 minutes or so. And my masa feels perfect, just like modeling clay. Look at this. And that's what you want. So now I'm gonna make it into a nice ball because I'm gonna roll it out like a log. You want it to be about 12 to 13 inches long. It's like playing. This is about 13 inches long. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it in half. And then I'm gonna cut it in half here again and here. And then I'm gonna make 2 more cuts right here. Just do the best you can. They're gonna be beautiful and super delicious. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now I'm gonna make them into little balls like this. Now you could stretch it out a little bit more and make your balls a little smaller. You'll be able to tell when you get started. And just drop them into your bowl right here. And here's the last one. Now you can make anywhere between 12 and 14 or so, and that'll be good. I'm gonna keep them covered with plastic wrap because you don't want them to dry up. I'm gonna put a towel over it and then I'm gonna set it to the side until I'm ready to use them. And this will give them enough time to hydrate real well. I'm gonna prepare my meat filling. I have 1 pound of ground chuck, 80-20. I love 80-20 because of the flavor and it doesn't dry up on you. I'm gonna put it into this hot skillet. I've got my temperature set on medium high. And I'm gonna brown it really well. And then I'm gonna drain it. Now many of you have asked me why I use 2 spoons. And I guess it's because I feel like my 2 hands are in there and I'm in total control. And if I only had 1, then it's hard for me to stir it and flip it and do everything that I wanna do. So this is really easy. Give it a try. So my ground chuck is ready. I browned it until all the pink was gone. Now I'm gonna add my onions. Now I left just a little bit of the grease in there because you're gonna need it for the onions. This is half of a medium onion. And I'm gonna move it around until it gets a little translucent. So now that my onions are slightly translucent, I'm gonna add my bell peppers. I have 1/4 of a large yellow bell pepper. Now you can leave it out, but the yellow bell pepper is just gonna cook down. You're hardly gonna see it, and it's gonna add a delicious flavor. I have 2 large garlic cloves, finely minced. I'm gonna make a little well, and I'm gonna add my garlic. Now it's time for my tomatoes. 2 large Roma tomatoes, nicely diced. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. That'll give it a kick. 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin. This is freshly ground cumin. 1 teaspoon of my homemade sweet paprika. Any paprika will do. Half a teaspoon of Mexican oregano. Some chopped cilantro. You can add as much as you want. And about half a cup of water. That's about half a cup. I'm gonna add my pepper. You can add as much as you want. And I'm gonna add some salt. That's good. Now the tomatoes are gonna start getting mushy after a while, and that's what I want. And then you're gonna have liquid down here at the bottom. But it's gonna be simmering on low while I make the puffy shells. And then this liquid is slowly gonna evaporate, and your filling is gonna be perfect. I'm gonna replace my lid, and I'm gonna lower the temperature to the lowest setting until I'm ready to use it. I'm gonna start pressing the little balls here so that I can have them ready when I take them to fry. And I'm gonna press them out as if I was making tortillas. Very easy. You always wanna keep your bowl covered. So I have the 2 pieces of plastic right here. I'm gonna put one of the little masa balls right there, and I'm gonna press it out. Just like if you were making tortillas, same size. And here it is. Now I've got some bakery tissue right here, and I'm gonna make them all at one time because I don't wanna be making one at a time. I think it's easier like that. So I'll get my masa like this, see? And I'll put it right here on top of the bakery tissue, and then I'll put another one on top, and I'm gonna set it to the side. And I'm gonna keep them covered with a towel because you don't want them to dry up. And I'm going to continue the process. My oil is nice and hot. Now I got this towel and I got it a little damp, and I put it over my masa because I don't want it to dry up. Now I'm ready to make my first puffy shell. Now you want to make sure that you keep your oil nice and hot. I've got mine set at about 365 degrees. Now you don't want to put your tortilla in there. I call it a tortilla, but it's going to become a puffy shell. You don't want to put it in the oil and let it sit there too long because it'll really absorb the oil. I'm gonna drop it in here slowly, just like this. And it's gonna puff up and it's gonna float up to the top all on its own. See how pretty that is? And after just a few seconds of seeing it puffed up like this, I'm gonna gently flip it over. And now I'm gonna press the center without touching the floor because you don't wanna tear it. And I'm gonna hold it for about 45 seconds, just like this. Very easy. So I'm gonna put my cookie sheet right here, and I have it lined with paper towels. Now I'm gonna remove my puffy shell. Look at how pretty this is. I wanna make sure that it drips well of all the excess oil, and I'm gonna put it right here on my tray. Look at how pretty this is. See? And I'm gonna let it sit there. I'm ready for another one. Very easy and lots of fun. I'm just gonna drop it into the hot oil. You wanna wait until it puffs up all on its own. Once it floats up and it's nice and puffy, you want to gently flip it over. Now you're going to push it down right in the center. So I've got everything ready. Now we can assemble. Before I do that, I'm gonna get my avocado ready in my molcajete. This is my salsa tatemada that I made in the molcajete. I like adding avocado right in there. You can, look how pretty this is. So you can do 2 in 1 with the avocado in there. Or you can mash it up and make guacamole to top your tacos. I just think this is an easy way to do it. This is gonna be delicious. Mmm. Everything is roasted so good. See? So I'm gonna get my puffy shell. I'm gonna add my meat filling. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna get another one. Now my lettuce. Now my Ron likes everything in his puffy tacos. So we're gonna make it just the way he likes it. The cheese. And now the salsa tatemada on top. Mmm. Look at this. Get it in there. Now I like mine with lettuce, cheese, and the salsa only. And a lot of it because it's delicious. Look at this. Beautiful. Now we're gonna have it with a little rice on the side. And that's good. Now it's time for the taste test. Now they're a little crunchy from the outside, but they're actually very soft from the inside. Hear them? Mmm. 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 Heavenly delicious. Oh my goodness. I have no words to tell you just how heavenly delicious these puffy tacos are. Now, the best thing about it is that you can prepare this meat filling ahead of time. So, these are my delicious puffy tacos. If you like my recipe, give me a thumbs up, send me a comment, and tell me what you think. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you.